I'm excited. First homeschool time. I think I might change the name. It sounds kind of funky. Homeschool time. How about homeschool chat? Homeschool work, homeschool something else. I don't know. We'll think about it, right? You can post ideas below if you want to already. Hi, I'm Mary. I am the one who does these wonderful lives and runs this group. Hopefully you think it's awesome and get a lot of great ideas for your childcare and homeschool now and all that great stuff. And as I said, some will overlap and things like this. This one probably won't so much. It's just about the homeschool regulations and all those different kind of things for you. Just to go over it. Now, this is mainly Wisconsin, but some are real similar, and I think you'll find some great information in this one as well. Just some different ideas for schedules, some general ones, and things like that. So, I think it'll help everyone to some degree with homeschooling, even if it's different. I know that this could work for almost everything just because besides the regulations, I go into a little bit of each area, the subjects and all that. And some of the subjects might be slightly different, but overall you can have your math and science and literature and those kind of things. So let's get started and all that great stuff. So I hope someone pops on. Oops, I got to do my doppelganger just in case someone hops on. I forgot. How can I forget? It's been a while. Let's see. Oh, there I am. Okay. I am live. Oops, I forgot I have my sound on. I don't want that reverb or whatever it's called or different weird stuff. So I have my sound on. I gotta turn that all off. I was listening to some videos for once. I don't do that too often myself. Maybe that's why it took me a while to get used to doing lives. I don't know. So I'm just going to do my hello and my wave, my double wave because I like it. Maybe I'll make a triple wave. Hey, 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 and my water wave. Shh, shh, shh. Can't wait. In June, I'm going on a little mini vacation to Door County. That's not that far. It's about 2.5 to 3 hour drive, and it's pretty cool. And I'm probably going to go parasailing, so I'm excited about that. I love parasailing, so you can see me on there doppelganging. So there you go. So no one's hopped on yet. Let's go over so I can do that. So just, I haven't done this in a while. My approaches to life is just to remember everyone's perception and perspective are different. So no matter what the comments are, if you don't agree, you can scroll by. What you can do is, say, this is a different opportunity. This is how I do it. Those kind of things. And not that there's any right or wrong about any way, especially about homeschooling, but even childcare. And just life in general, right? We live to learn and live to live to learn and learn to live. That's my one of my philosophies of life. And the other one is live to be curious. Just live to be curious, especially with homeschooling and childcare and just helping them to learn. It's like be curious with them. Maybe you're curious about something a little bit different and you can work together and, have some fun and share ideas. So that's it. So welcome. I already said it's me, Mary. So, and thank you for coming, hopefully. If not, you can do a hashtag replay, and you can follow along and ask your questions as you go if you're not able to make it, if you're in a different time zone, things like that. Be here and enjoy the process and ask your questions below and drink some coffee. Oh, whatever your favorite beverage. I can't imagine another one, but I'm sure. My husband likes tea, though he does drink coffee too. I don't know which he. So, but anyways, I don't know why I'm dinging so much. Let's see. I don't know. I guess I got a message. So I wish there was a way to turn that off. I'm sure there is, but anyways. So my week was socialization. Oh my goodness. I was socializing still some more. I think I'm almost done. But if you want to hop on and let me know and DM me and give me some ideas what you would like to see in the group in general. So then I can make sure that I'm doing most needs, some childcare, as well as also the homeschooling that way. So, and if you want my class list or anything like that for your classes, just let me know. Or my classes, not your classes, so you can take the classes. And so I had fun though, socializing and just kind of learning what other families would like to see in the group and what kind of classes, things like that. And so I got some great ideas and just some old friends too. It was kind of fun. I went to Culver's and I haven't been there for a long time, and except this week. Now I went twice in 1 week, which is kind of funky. My friend Sonia, we're known for going to Culver's together and having fun. And then me and my hubby decided to go this weekend to just be a little naughty, and we got some Culver's. So I had a little bit of fries, not a lot, but a little bit. So, because I do carb free, I have to watch my diet for many reasons. I have health issues, and I do it all naturally. So if you want to ask me about that, this is how my diabetes was. They wanted me. It was almost 7 years ago in the hospital, and I think that's why they kept me so long. They had me on insulin. They wanted me to go home on insulin, and I refused. They did not like it. They were saying doctor after doctor and nurse say, why not? Da 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 da. So I said, I'll take some form of pills. I'll start with that. Because you don't know us, Delone girls. That's my maiden name. We can do this. And I will. And I did. Within 2 weeks, I stopped taking the pills, and I became in the pre-diabetic range. And then I have been non-diabetic for over 4 years, and then even the non-diabetic range. And that's just with my diet. So if you want some help, let me know. Plus, I have some other issues, but I won't go on about it right now. I went on more than I anticipated. So how was your week? What did you do fun? What different kinds of activities with your family or with your classroom children or whatnot? Oh, also I thought about doing a child care one specifically to help homeschoolers or online schoolers, because I know that you guys have been doing that or did that in the pandemic, and I don't know if you still are or not, if you want to kind of open up that niche to homeschoolers. So anyways, so I thought about that. So I got some ideas. So we'll see about that. But what was your favorite part of the week so far? Mine was just, of course, socializing and going to Culver's and meeting with an old friend that we used to work together eons ago. Well, not quite eons ago. I'm not that old, but a while ago anyways. So put your emojis down of how you're doing, what you did, and follow along. If you're just hopping on afterwards and doing a replay, just hop on and put your emojis down and have some fun as we go along. That's what it's all about. So updating is all about homeschooling. Oops, I thought I changed this. So we're just going to be doing some more different lives. I'm going to be doing, so I'm going to change it up after this month. In May, I'm going to change it up to still doing 2 homeschooling ones and 1 childcare motivation one for everybody. Now I'll do 1 class usually per month for childcare, but this month, not this month, in June, I'm not, because I'm going on vacation. So I'll do that again in July. And I already had that planned, and I wasn't going to do any classes in June. I still have the online ones if you're interested. So I'm going to be doing normally 1 on kind of a topic and going into detail about different things. And the next one will be kind of more of that topic, just a little bit of here and there, plus a general Q&A. So if you have questions about that topic or even other areas or bring up different ideas, then that'd be great. So it's going to be mostly a Q&A with some topic, and no one hops on or doesn't give me some questions to answer, because you can DM me whatever questions you have about homeschooling, and I can just answer them if you want. doing the Q&A, and that's going to be the third week of the month, and the first is going to be the topics. So this next one's going to be on schedules, and then the following one is going to be on curriculum. Maybe I should have switched it, but I'm just going to keep it the way it is, because I already did the scheduled ones for the most part. So I got to finish up the curriculum one. I have ideas, and I got to Google search some more curriculum because I've been out of the loop a little bit. And I got some from the new homeschooling families, or ones that are still homeschooling, some of the different things that they've been doing. So next daily schedules, and then on curriculum, I did that. And the upcoming class this month is just a one-parter for once, is Preparing Parents for Change. And it's May 25th. It's a Thursday. They will always be Thursdays. And that's a Zoom interactive from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The Central Standard Time. So if you're interested, I already have now one signed up, so I'm excited. So it's been a little bit for me for that. So with this new thing of not needing classes and stuff, that's how that's working for me. But I'm excited. I do it for one, I'll do it for two, I'll do it for three, preferably four, and that's fine. I don't need to do tons. So anyways, reasons for homeschooling. There are many reasons for homeschooling, and none of them are wrong. You can choose whatever reasons and why you want to homeschool. It doesn't matter. Some of the top reasons are, I'm not going to go through an exhaustive list, but not happy with the curriculum. You don't feel your child's learning enough. They're not, challenging your child enough. Some behavior issues. That might be part of that, not being challenged, and that might be bored and things like that. So it's hard to know for sure. You want more religious, and you can't afford necessarily the private, things like that in your curriculum. Bullying in school, that was my reason I took my son out, is the bullying in school. And they weren't willing to help. I tried, and I went to the school and the teacher. So anyways, that was a little bit of a difficult situation for me. And you do not feel your child's needs are being met, just in general, And it's kind of hard. I mean, I'm not ditching the school teachers at all. But, dealing with so many children and so many age bands and so many different things, it's hard for them, and it can be hard on those students because they're kind of trying to rein them in, and someone's way ahead and one's way behind, and there's hopefully most of them are in between that. And so it can be difficult. And so your child's needs may not be fully met. So the choice is easy. The figuring out if you really can do it is the hard part, because there is one major thing that can possibly stop you from homeschooling, and that's kind of the time and financial, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So making the choice, most people think of it as pros and cons. So that's what I did. I made a little bit of a pros and cons list for you before we go on, because I thought it'd be nice, why do people homeschool? Why should I homeschool? Why do I homeschool? Am I just the only one who thinks this way? And some of it, and I didn't want to bring it up, is, all those different things going on in the schools that you may not like right now. I won't say what, but, that way. So you're just not liking the schools. Oh, no one's on. So maybe I should make this later. I thought it would be okay earlier for homeschool parents, but I guess maybe I will make these later to get more people on here. So let me know below if you watched, hopefully, the replay, that let me know what times are you on. Maybe I'll post on there just to ask what you would prefer timing wise. Again, so some of the pros is you have the control as a parent. Definitely, you have full control of the curriculum, the schedule, your children, all those different things. Field trips, all that fun stuff. And sometimes not so fun stuff, because it can be difficult. Flexibility as a teacher, admin, and student, because you also the admin, so you have to do the documentation and all those different things. But you have that flexibility within that as a teacher of how you want it to work for your child or children, I should say, if you have more than one. And that way, you always know how, where, and what your child is doing all day. Now, sometimes in high school, because I homeschool high school, sometimes, I mean, you know, but, because he went through high school, so he did some volunteering and he did some different things. He went to school at UW Milwaukee and took some classes there at the Peck School of the Arts. And that was awesome. And you can, the biggest thing is you do it on your schedule. And that's a bonus and can be a difficulty depending on the age of your children. Time consuming, writing up lesson plans. And they don't have to be so big a deal, really. Now, if you have a more strict one, you might have to write up a little bit more and have objectives and different things like that. And I can help you with that because I have a teaching degree. I've done that. I wrote out lesson plans and all those different things. But for us, you don't have to. You just kind of do it for yourself and kind of figure out, what you want to do and things like that. So writing lesson plans, figuring out the curriculum, and that can be daunting because there's so much out there. And that's why I'm going to help with that and give you some ideas and some starting points. And record keeping, to name a few. So, that documentation also. Loss of one income, that's the biggest one. And we'll talk about that because you need to be home with your child. Now, if you're an entrepreneur and you work from home, it's not a big deal. But if you aren't, that can be hard. But with how the schedule works, you can possibly, hopefully, make it work for you. And lots of school resources, but there's plenty of others out there. They get their individual help from you. And you can also hire people out, tutors, different things like that. And, different homeschool groups. The curriculum is your choice, so you get to pick and choose. And you can change it if you need to make it work. You can make delicious and healthy meals. Yummy. And they get to socialize in a more natural, planned activities with your family or friends or other homeschool groups. So it's not just one age group, it's multi-age groups throughout. Lots of team sports to some degree. There is some homeschool sports out there, but they're kind of hard to find. So, and sometimes depending where you live, there might be a bit of a drive along with that. And some camaraderie, and some people might think was kind of part of the reason they put them back to high school is, the dances, the sporting events, and those kind of things. And so, that's something, your child might want or need more of, or you feel that's needed for your child, you can put them back for high school, things like that. I left it up to my son, and he wanted to be homeschooled through high school. And there is still also a lot, as we know, negative socialization with homeschools. With regular schools too. So that now to the true homeschooling requirements. Finally, we got there. Yay! So just let me know how you're doing. Any questions? Keep posting. I know no one's on, but post later if you need to. So the hours and subjects. So 875 hours. And don't let that daunt you. It's not really a lot. I even went through it myself when I first found out. You can do 4 hours a day in a traditional school year. You won't have all those banking days off and different things like that because you don't need to. And you don't have to take those off. Things like that. So, and less time off at school. Now, if you go through the summer, then you can have more time off for, winter break, Christmas holidays, those kind of things, however you want to do that. So, and a lot of homeschools do it through the school, through the summer, but we'll talk about that more schedule-wise in the summer, but kind of less, and more different fun activities, maybe more field trips, things like that. But you can still count them. And just, the area, you can just use your kitchen table, reading textbooks and completing worksheets, field trips, audio visuals. I just gave kind of a list of different things to include. Cooking and grocery shopping for the health and that. We'll talk about the subjects. We have reading, so they separate it from the language arts. And so just reading. And then you have the language arts, which is the vocabulary and writing skills. And then they start the essay writing and all that. But then it's, beginning is vocabulary and the sentence structure and those kind of things. And you can just do workbooks. Go to Walgreens and pick up workbooks to start with, things like that. And they have them per grade level. Amazon, all that. Sometimes I still forget about that, because I did that. But went to Walgreens, that is. Mathematics, you got your textbooks, workbooks, and you can do cooking. So for the younger, you can do some cooking with it too to get more hands-on. I would recommend though not doing just a workbook, but actually doing textbooks so it's consistent through, and they're getting all the different areas of the of mathematics. Now you can do some online classes. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if you use just textbooks that way, or you can do the online and that way, or CDs. There's plenty, and we'll talk about different ones that you can use. Social studies and geography and government and history. So it's all those different things together. Or, you don't have to do them all together, but you can choose one year to do geography, one government, one history, or mix them up, things like that. Or just do history textbooks as well. They're out there. Science is the textbooks, usually experiments, gardening, and with and cooking can still be that. And what I did with my son for the first 3 years is we just did science experiments. And that's all we did. We didn't do any textbook or anything. Actually, we didn't even do any until high school. But I didn't start him until 5th grade. So he did have a traditional school for a while, and he was not a science guy. So you just kind of figure out for your child and their needs and what you feel comfortable with. Cost and time varies in cost. So it just depends on, mainly the curriculum that you use and type of field trips you go on, because there's plenty cheap, free ones out there, but there's some more expensive ones. So it just depends. You can be very careful about that. You can choose, like 1 year, and I did this. 1 year I was a museum member, and 1 year I was a zoo member, and 1 year I was the art, several years of art because he loved the art. So I did mostly art museum membership. So it's cheap for that. And then we went mainly to that for the year, that one. And they had some free days at the zoo, so we might have splurged, went and did that. Or they had some different discounted days for the museum, so we might would have go that during that year as well. And the Discovery World Museum here used to have, I haven't known since COVID if they brought them back the homeschool days, because my son loved those. And they had different science experiments and things for the different age groups. And they actually went through high school and had different things, so it was kind of nice. And they had the younger age groups too. And then Betty Brandon, I don't know if they have homeschool days, but they have different special things for the younger ages. So those kinds. So it varies in costs, mainly depending on the curriculum and what you get, whether online or the full curriculum where, you pick, they do everything for you. You have the children do the work, and then you send it in and they grade it all for you. So that's the most expensive. And then you can get it where you just get the textbooks and do it yourself. So there's many different ways. And we'll talk about that in June, the first week in June. So you pick the days, nights, and weekends to get all your hours in. So you can do it through the weekends, you can do it in evenings, you can do it, during the day. And you can have your mom or a relative help. You can give them what they need, and then you can give them the textbooks or whatever it might need that you want them to work on while you go to work. So you can do things like that, so then you can still do it. Especially if, if your kids in high school, then you don't have to worry about it because they can be home alone. And usually they're used to it and they're okay. But now, if they're, younger, you need to be there, or someone needs to be there. So you can, have someone come in, you give them all the stuff that they need to do, and they can do it with your child, so you can have, different tutors or different things with your parents, different homeschool groups. They have co-ops and things, and we'll have some classes in the fall. I'm working out those, so I'll talk about those with the curriculum a little bit, things like that. So you can do weekends as well, and you can do it throughout the summer, so you can do it all year, so you can spread those hours out. So you can really work it so you can still work at least part-time. I'm not sure about quite full-time, but if there's two of you, you might be able to do that. Or if you have a lot of family support, like I did. In the beginning, I had my mom. I dropped him off and I went to work full-time. And I gave her all the things she needed to do and what was needed for that week. Gave her some gas money to take them to different field trips and different homeschool group that he was part of and taking class. So we worked it out. So that was really nice. And I did the homework when I got home. I corrected it and she did some. So she was really helpful. And she was retired. It was really cool. So we did that for a little bit. And then during high school, I did it all. So, and that way. I mean, I did all the teaching and I did everything that way. And I stayed home for a while. And then I did go back full time just to make sure he was on the right track and things. And then I did always have Thursdays off. So we had the homeschool group with our classes then. So that's how you can work it so that you can actually still work at least part-time away from home, but you can, that way too, you can work in home and kind of work that out. And, depending on how many children, you can work it out so that you give them some work to do, you help them out, you show them the activity and all that, or go through it, the lesson with him or her, and then you can say, all right, now you need to do these problems, and then you can go and do your work for a while. So, and there's different curriculum themes. You have the traditional unschooling online and eclectic approach of curriculum, or philosophies of homeschooling. And there's many, many variations. There's, I don't think, a true of any one of those that way. More traditional is where, mainly textbooks and or online school classes where they do that, they sit and do it. Now, I don't recommend that for everything. I mean, I did more of a traditional approach, but I also consider myself more eclectic because he did online, he did CDs, he did in person, and he did online interactive, not just self-paced, or he did one or two of those too. So he did quite a variety of different types of classes and activities for homeschooling. And so, but it was, I consider more traditional because it was based more on the textbooks, but I added activities and different things with it that we did. So he had a lot of hands-on experience as well. And this might be the more logical and easy approach to start with. If you're not sure, picking out some textbooks, you can find them on Amazon or different homeschool sites, cheap and all those kind of things. And then you can pick and choose those kind of things. And that's more of a traditional 8 to 3 kind of schedule. But we probably started about 9:30, sometimes 10. I went to, it varied from 3 to 4, depending on what y'all got done and all those different things. And as I said, we homeschooled through the summer, so I wasn't worried about those hours, though I kept track of his days and things like that. Oops. And then online, that can be just online where they actually just do everything online. And there's some different schools that do that. Now you need to be careful because some online ones are considered public schools. And so then they have to do everything. They have to send in all their work, or they actually can fail classes and things like that. So you gotta be careful, but there's some that are like Switch on Schoolhouse, and there's a few others, and I'm sure even more than I used to have or know about online. So then this is one of another that's kind of more expensive, just like with the curriculum where you send in all the stuff. Here they do all the stuff and they correct it. They have sometimes it's self-paced and sometimes they have it where you have to be in class at certain times, and then the teachers have office hours, things like that. This is another one that's kind of easy, and if you're comfortable with online, you know, for your child and all that kind of things, then it's something that might be, maybe your child's more wants the more online rather than the textbook kind of thing. That might be something with that. Now, with the textbook ones, I think they do still have some support there for the child if they have questions and things like that, and for the parent. So, and this can be expensive because, as you know, you're paying for the teachers and they're there all the time and different things like that. It also can be another easy choice, especially if they're not liking the textbook style and they want online or more interactive, because then there's other students there and they can do the chat thing with them and with the parents. So it's kind of nice. I know some students that did some of these too. And then the Unschooling, which I recommend highly for the younger ones. I wish I started homeschooling younger, but it's just going with the child's interests. I mean, this is though the hardest to document for all the subject areas you need. And that way, but you go with the child's interests. And then you can kind of, bring certain things out that they need to learn and things like that, and bring out those vocabulary words while the child's reading, things like that. And maybe just add a couple workbooks into it and things like that to help know that he understands sentence structure and the commas and capitalization and all those different kind of things that happen. But it's kind of a nice, to get their interests and very exploring and things. So it's like, kind of like childcare, learning through play kind of thing. And it's great. And there's then the last eclectic, which I consider myself, because I think I did a traditional eclectic, because I did a variety of different types of curriculum. I didn't just pick one full set of curriculum because I wasn't sure what would work best with my son. So I decided to do it that way, then just all one set. And then what if you didn't like it or didn't get it? Because you can switch it out if it's not working. You can switch it out at any time. Now I would recommend waiting a couple of months, not a semester, and then doing it at that point, at a good breaking point for the books, and then just giving your children enough time to see if it's really just, it not working, or they're just, need some time to get used to the textbook style, those kind of things. Okay, just checking, no one's on. So just, as I said, if you, have some questions about these styles or just in general, now you don't need to pick any, just one, as I said. You can pick and choose. You can do some online classes, you can do some in-person classes, you can do some interactive, you can make your own, which I did several of my own, and those kind of things. So you can do a variety, So eclectic is pretty much that, picking and choosing, doing a variety of different styles for your child. Some unschooling kind of things. So we did kind of that. He got to pick and choose those science experiments and some different things for cooking for the health. I chose that kind of some cooking and herbs because I did herbs for gardening. So that was all part of health and nutrition and things like that. And then I got them to do snow shoveling. That was part of it too, the physical ed, and mowing the lawn, things like that. So, so I did kind of fun things like that. I don't know about mowing the lawn too fun, but he liked to break and to get outside for a while and all that. So that can be kind of fun. Oh wow, I didn't realize how long I went, but I kind of talked a little bit in there too, I think. So what's next? Picking out your curriculum, setting up for your home, what area you're gonna have a part in his bedroom, or I did in the kitchen. I didn't do anything in his bedroom unless he wanted to. He could bring some stuff in his bedroom if he wanted to, but I had in the dining area. And I had a couple shelves of different books and notebooks and things that he could use. And then he did it mainly on the kitchen table when he was home. Otherwise, the same with my mom. He had those kind of things. And then, he could go outside and change up here and there through the day and, not just sitting at the desk. And then he had some field trips, and he had his weekly classes always, whether it was with me or another group. He did that and did a science fair and just all kinds of different things throughout the school year that way. So just setting up your home or wherever your child's going to be. Like for mine, with my parents for a while, so we kind of worked that out. And then we brought it to my house. And then figuring out your daily schedule. So we're going to do that next. I know it's kind of intertwined with the curriculum, but I figured, kind of so you can kind of get an idea of different schedules first, depending on what you need. And then getting those school materials and that curriculum that you would decide to use. And then getting support from homeschool groups, not just mine, but others, different things like that. And hopefully some in person. If you're not in the Milwaukee area, then, you can get some in your specific area. You can maybe use some of my classes in the fall, different things like that, if you want, because I do plan on doing 1 or 2 Zoom interactive classes and things like that. So I'll talk about that more in June because I'm kind of mulling it around in my head and figuring this all out. And then just doing more research. And there's plenty online and different Facebook groups and asking you questions here or there and getting answers and DMing me. So it isn't easy, but it's like life. It's like, it's easy, but it's not. And it's simply, I don't know, simply difficult. I don't even want to say difficult. I forget what I usually say, but it's simply complicated, because we make it a little bit more so than it needs to be because we got so many choices, and most homeschools, you can do most of those things. As I said, other states will have different requirements of how many hours. But I think most, it's kind of, there's a minimum federally mandated, and they may add some subjects as well, things like that. And then I might do about high school a little bit because if you want your child to get into colleges, you need to add a couple different things to your curriculum to make sure that they are able to do that. So, and then the transcripts. So we can talk about that sometime if some of you are wanting to homeschool through high school or homeschooling starting in high school, different things like that, and how that can, I can help with those kind of things as well. So all those different things. So it's just simply complicated. There's all those different choices and thinking, but don't worry about, depending on your child. Just figure out year to year. And that first year is going to be just getting to know your family, figuring it out, figuring your schedule out. The first couple of months, it's going to be, okay, making this work for you, pretty much. And at the end of the day, go over your accomplishments. What did you do that day, and just feel accomplished. Are you working towards that? We can talk about getting you to that homeschooling day in the fall, and back into the full school year swing of things. And just feel accomplished and be compassionate to yourself. Because sometimes, not every homeschool day is the best day. Sometimes we have some rough days, and that's okay. I mean, even in school, sometimes they have rough days, right? So you got to be compassionate to yourself about that too. And there's always another day. So emoji me down there. What did you learn? Your takeaways, what was your biggest takeaway about the homeschooling stuff? Some of your questions. Please post below some questions that you may have about homeschooling, things like that. Whether it's how to help in childcare or for yourself for starting homeschooling, or parents have some different questions about homeschooling, things like that. So just let me know or DM me if you want, and we can have some of those conversations for you so you can get going with homeschooling. Oops. Okay, because I don't think anyone came on, which is unusual. So I think I might just change it back to my normal 6 p.m. time, because I know that Sherry can't be on until then, and a few other ones, so maybe Lisa and that too. But Lisa I know is on vacation this week with her son in Mexico. She should be coming back, I don't know when, early next week or this weekend. So exciting for her. I was excited. Just sounds like fun. I can't wait for my vacation. I'm just going to Door County though, in my same state, but I can't wait. I'm excited. So post below your thoughts, any takeaways, emojis, and all that great stuff. Don't forget my Preparing Parents Change for classes coming up on May 25th. If you have any questions about that and homeschooling, and just let me know, and I'd be glad to help you and get you rolling on that. So I will see you next week, and I might change it to a later time. So, and don't forget, you can always do replay. So it's not that big a deal. And still post your questions below. I'll still answer them. And we'll go from there. And so, on that note, really, goodbye.